A parenting alert about a popular video game so many kids are playing.
That's right, Robin. Video games are facing some new scrutiny this morning. President Trump has announced he's meeting with video game executives next week to discuss violent content following the deadly Florida school shooting. This as a new game called Fortnite is drawing millions of players, and some parents are worrying their kids are spending way too much time at the controls. It's the online game that has fans in a frenzy. Fortnite's objective? Players in the game's free Battle Royale version join teams and battle up to 100 others to be the last person standing. The multiplayer melee drawing comparisons to blockbuster franchise The Hunger Games.
I volunteer as tribute.
With millions of users, from kids to even celebrities like Chance the Rapper, Joe Jonas, and Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster caught up in the craze.
I'm at this party right now, and all I'm thinking about is Fortnite.
Over 40 million people in America play this game, so the crazy part is chances are you know somebody who's enjoying it.
And with the option for users to buy upgrades and bonus features, the company reportedly raking in big bucks off the game's big buzz.
It wouldn't surprise me if they were making hundreds upon hundreds of thousands on any given day. In fact, maybe even over 1 million.
For some parents, Fortnite's popularity is now a cause for concern.
I mean, I just love this game. It's great.
Amy Selling says her kids are so caught up in the game, she sometimes won't see them for hours after school.
They downloaded it around November, December. Around that time, I guess that's when they slowly started to disappear.
She wrote about her experience in a blog titled, How I Lost My Children to Fortnite. The post garnering big response from other parents across the country.
Everyone's sort of struggling with the same thing. How much time do we let our children actually play this where they're not fighting and they think they've had enough time and I'm not the bad guy?
And it's not only Fortnite. Just this year, in a controversial decision, the World Health Organization officially recognized gaming disorder as a mental health issue. The American Academy of Pediatrics advises parents to place consistent limits on screen time, making sure it doesn't take the place of adequate sleep, physical activity, and other behaviors essential to health. But for worried parents, Fortnite's social aspect may actually have a positive effect.
The beauty of video games is they're moving from being solo experiences to more social experiences that invite people to come together and bond over a shared positive activity.
To further the discussion, let's bring in clinical and sports psychologist Dr. Jonathan Fader. And Jonathan, thank you for joining us. From a clinical perspective, what makes this game different than any other games that we've seen before, and how does it affect the brain?
Listen, when you mentioned Fortnite here in the studio, there were people high-fiving. I saw a bunch of teenagers in the studio high-fiving. This is a viral game. People are so into this game, and the thing that makes Fortnite so different is it's so interactive, Michael. I mean, people can play duo as a team and really interact over the video game. It affects our pleasure centers of the brain. That's what video games do, and this one is really intense.
Okay, so speaking specifically to Fortnite, how much playing time is too much time? Parents want to know, what limits do we set?
Well, the American Academy of Pediatrics says if your kid is 2 to 5, it should be an hour or less a day. With teenagers, it's really about the context. How does the video game affect their activities? Does it prevent them from getting their schoolwork done? Does it prevent them from doing other social activities? You know, Homer Simpson had a great quote. To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. So, you know, when you think about these video games, it's like, yeah, they give kids fun, but at the same time, let's moderate.
And is it hard as a parent to find that balance with your kids?
It's so hard. I mean, my kids play video games, and what I do is I play with them. I want to see what they're doing. I want to get in, and I mean, some of it is just fun, but I want to be there and understand how violent it is. And also, I want to help them limit it themselves.
It's a problem, too, because my kids use all of those devices for their schoolwork. And so, like, Mom, I'm doing schoolwork. So I always say you have to have a door open, and I have to hear, you can't have the headphones on, because if you hear that play happening, then you know. Because they're just behind the screen, like, I'm doing my essay, / they're doing Fortnite, right?
No question. It's great cover. It's a great undercover thing. And so when you tell a kid, hey, listen, just put it on airplane mode, they can't a lot of times. A lot of their schoolwork is interactive. A lot of times they're doing research on the web. So it's really harder to limit than it used to be.
So what are, if there are any benefits to playing video games?
Look, I mean, there are definitely benefits. The thing about Fortnite is it's a multiplayer game, and the thing that teenagers really enjoy about it is that you're actually talking to your friend while you're doing it. Now, so that's really one of the fun parts about it, and that's what sucks people in and says, hey, 5 more minutes, Mom, 10 more minutes, Mom, 3 hours more, you know, and you can spend your whole life down there in the family room playing. It's that interactive component. A lot of kids who aren't connected in sports or other settings really find a social scene in that, which is, as a benefit, but in moderation, it can really get out of hand.
Yeah, moderation being the key.
And I like that. You play with your kids so you know what they're doing, and you can say, hey, it's time to cut it off.
Yeah, Michael, you play with your kids, and also you find other ways to limit it. What I say is, stop telling your kids, don't do this. Tell your kids, do this.
Yeah.
Give them the other activities. Give them other things to do. If you're just telling your kids all day, stop doing that, it's just going to be a drag. Connect with them. Understand what they like about it.
All right, Dr. Fader, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure being with you.
You're like full health on everything, and your teammates are getting wrecked. No, not only one left. He's almost dead. Yeah, no, you can't res that guy. No, he's dead. Just you? Yeah. Max versus 12 people. Who's gonna win? Me. Money from Leo. Ask him why he wants to smash it. Wait, so why do you want to smash that?
It's a horrible game. Why don't I get a rocket launcher? Whoever made that trash Oh my god. It's so trash. I hate Fortnite.
You could have sold that TV.
Lights is still working, huh? Now is it working? Now is it? Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Oh my god. Instead of selling it like a
Fortnite chat!